So what is the process of getting life insurance and getting the right quotes? Because a lot of these quick online get approved in 10-minute companies won't go through these steps, which means you may not be getting the best policy. So first, we want to determine how much coverage you actually need. Are we covering a mortgage, replacement for your family if something, God forbid, were to happen to you, covering business debt or final expenses because maybe you're a senior? This step really matters because the right amount of coverage depends really on your budget and your goals, not some random number somebody's trying to tell you or maybe some information you got online. Second, we want to determine the type of policy. Are you looking for term life insurance, a certain type of whole life, an IUL, return of premium term, just something permanent, temporary? I mean, this is going to really reflect on your budget as well and what you're needing. Once we know what direction makes sense, then we can move on to the underwriting questions. And this is where the real magic and accuracy happens, because I'm going to ask you things like your height, your weight, your date of birth, your health history, medications, any diagnosis in the last couple years, and then your lifestyle risks like skydiving, hazardous hobbies, if you've had any DUIs, bankruptcies, felonies, driving records, and here's why. You see, every insurance company has a niche. Some companies are more lenient with things like diabetes, certain medications, health conditions in the past. Some are even fine with bankruptcies, depending on what type it is. And some will be a little bit stricter with certain conditions. So whatever your situation is, we want to stay away from those companies or go towards these companies. And if your agent that you're working with right now is not asking you these questions, they're not really doing their job. They might just be trying to sell you like a simplified issue policy or like a guaranteed issue that has a 2-year wait period with less questions and less work for the agent, which also means you're going to be probably paying more for these as well. So by gathering this information up front, I can show you the right carriers for your situation and give you a very accurate quote with the right carriers. Sometimes I'll even send it to a couple carriers just to see if we can really get some competition going between the carriers. Now, once we find you something that you like, the right numbers, the right budget, and we're ready to move forward, I submit the application. Just understand that at this stage, there will be some sensitive questions like income information, beneficiary details, your social security number to make sure that the company is pulling the correct records of you, because there are probably thousands of people with your exact same name. If you don't believe me, go Google your name or look it up on Facebook. Other questions will be driver's license, any rough driving record history, banking information so that we know what day you want the policy drafted once we get you approved, and so on and so forth. Now, I know this can be a little bit strange if we're not sitting face to face, and if this is maybe over the phone or a Zoom call. That can feel a little bit strange. I completely get it in this climate that we're in nowadays with AI and all this stuff. So don't worry, if we are over the phone or even in a different city, I will be sending you all of my information with my insurance number, a website where you can check my insurance number to make sure that you feel comfortable doing this. Because when people ask me for information, I need to know who you are. But anyways, so it's very simple. It's no different than signing up for car insurance or signing up at your local bank or getting a mortgage. Much easier than getting a mortgage, actually. So once I submit the application, you will receive a text or an email, depending on the company, requesting your electronic signature. This authorizes the carrier to begin reviewing your medical, prescription, MIB records, driving, criminal history, etc. From there, we find out whether we need to do a medical exam or not. If anything unusual does show up in your doctor's notes, or if something pops up that you may have forgotten about, like a medication, you would actually be very surprised what might show up on your doctor's notes that you are unaware of. And this can usually really hold up that process. And underwriting. But underwriting can take anywhere from a couple of days to 2 or 3 weeks, depending on the complexity and how much information they need once they have viewed your profile. Once approved, we can make minor adjustments if needed, but typically the process is pretty smooth. The actual time that I spend with somebody getting this information is 15 to 20 minutes, maybe longer if there's a lot there. After that, you just wait for your email and we wait for the carrier's decision, really. It's honestly pretty painless when the process is handled correctly. We just want to make sure that we're putting you with the right carrier. So I hope this answers your question, clears up any confusion that might have been out there or things you might have been Googling. If you do have any questions, please reach out. I have links down below where you can book a call, get a quote. So I hope this helped. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, leave a little comment. It helps the algorithm reach people that have the same questions you might. And until then, I'll see you on the next one.